Ha not funny.
Colin.
It's going rogue left and right, man.
And Mike, the Ape Man.
Oh my goodness gracious.
PTR Radio.
You ready to kick ass?
All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. Going back to a classic intro there. It is another week, and we are here. Hopefully you are as well. Don't forget, you can get in touch with the show at PTR Radio on your standard Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, the YouTubes, the Twitter. Well, let's just say that Elon has been screwing up things for everybody. All right. I would say you can get in touch with the show with what? We can't talk about the Twitter?
No, it's the X. Remember?
Yeah. I know. Did they change it again? I know he said he was getting rid of the bird. They were flipping the bird.
Yes, the X.
Oh, he changed it already.
Yes, it's called X now.
I missed the headline. Sorry. So now it's X, like as in X profitable, X usable, X populated, because now everybody's gonna switch platforms because she sucks and she sucks so bad.
It's very much like somebody buying the Walt Disney Company and deciding to rename it Samantha.
I mean, it's just this is a suck. That's what they should have named it, a suck.
So there's been some very good memes on the platform previously known as Twitter. People like, hey, I just got canned from Twitter. I was the graphics designer for, I had a job there as the graphics designer for 2.5 weeks. I led the team that came up with the new logo.
I mean,
it's making fun of just how terrible it is.
It's about as big news, LOL, JK, still Twitter, changing name to Meat. Oh, that's from Wendy's. Wendy's is changing their name to Meat. Okay. It's just, Netflix, be right back, changing my name to Netflib. That's a good one. Like that. Let's see here. This looks like a logo of an app you go on to get raw dogged in an alley. Okay.
And it's kind of funny that people are saying stuff about like Twitter, but or X or whatever. I'm just going to call it Sybil. And for some reason, that comment that you just read about the back alley, that's kind of the vibe I get on Threads now. Like Threads very quickly became the most craptastic pile of doo-doo that I like. And now here's the part that really destroys me about it. I found this out after the fact, and I don't know if anybody else knew this, but apparently if you sign up for Threads using your Instagram profile and then you delete Threads, you no longer have access to your Instagram either. Because they are essentially the same account. I didn't tell you that during that million user sign up on day one. So F Zuckerberg, F Elon, FX,
FX,
all of them.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to come up with a new. Let's see here. Can we come up with a new messaging system called FX? I think FX.com is probably taken. But we can probably come up with
Well, they have the movies.
Yeah. So
it's probably fx.go.com, but I haven't checked recently.
But in looking at this, because one of the reasons, by the way, the toy might be working for you, Mike. I don't know.
I think.
Okay.
I mean, I was able to connect to it. I don't know if it's connected to everything else.
So one of the reasons why I bring this up is because the toy, as we talk about it, that's how Mike can look at all the messages coming in. The thousands of messages we get every show that come in across all the different platforms, right?
That I filter out to just 3 people that
Yeah.
I decide to let through to show up on the screen.
Well, the chosen few, as it were. But
the ones whose checks cleared.
Yeah. We have a red check mark for ours, that they pay for. But
It
anyway,
used to be a red X, but we got a cease and desist from Elon.
yeah. But that program used to monitor Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Now it's just Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube because Twitter closed their API. They're like, nope, sorry, not going to do it no more. You can't even look at your own messages if you don't
there
want
was
to
a
look.
whole big thing about that.
If you don't want to look for the ads.
So a lot of people were complaining, and most of them that were complaining were people that I had muted on Twitter, and guess what? Now they showed up on Threads, the bastards. But they were all complaining because the API got shut off, and I guess they couldn't use TweetDeck anymore to broadcast out to all of their social media platforms.
Well, and I'm sure
unless they subscribed to Twitter Blue, which is now what? X Blows?
I don't know. Maybe it's XPass. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's just, a while ago they were talking about, this was years ago, they were talking about Facebook subscription. Okay. They were saying, how much would you pay Facebook not to see ads on your feed and to see only the people that you wanted to see? And I think universally we agreed, hey, you know what? Like $2 a month. I'd kick in $2 a month to not see any ads and to only see the people that I want to see.
Who we?
Well, I thought that we had come to a conclusion that, you know what? It's not unreasonable to say, hey, if we're going to not have to deal with their ads, which is their main source of revenue, then they did need to be, subsidized in some way, shape, or form. And, like $2 a month is doable. That's like one Coke a month from a vending machine that you can give up.
I do not care. I have an ad blocker.
Well, I know, but trust me, they're getting around those too because they're just buying them.
So here's what I would do. I would pay $2 a month if it would let me if it would give me back the feature to do newest post as opposed to most relevant on my timeline.
Yeah. Give me back all the features that made it useful for me.
Give me that back. Give me trending back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you give me access back to some of those features, then maybe I would pay.
Because the only reason they took it down is so that they can get more ad revenue, so that they could inject more things, eat more easily. I mean, that's just the way that it worked. And so, I mean, that's why there's a ton of like Discord servers popping up. There's a ton of, next thing you know, IRC chat's going to be another big thing. We're just going to go back to the days of text chat, and having all these IRC rooms. Because I was looking at it because I'm like, okay, well, when is the toy going to get updated to accommodate for threads, and when's it going to take in all these other things that?
Oh, well, threads would,
which would be cool. And I was talking to the developers a little bit, and they go, you know what, we're tired of trying to keep up with the companies. Honestly, we're just tired of trying to keep up with those guys because there's so much BS involved with those companies. They change crap like every other month on us, and it's impossible, which I get because we used to write our own social media, wall application at work, and we decided, hey, we're tired of this, man. We can't keep it up. It's failing on us. There's too many API calls. It's just not worth it. And so we went with a box product. And so, and this, it's not like the toy is a major feature of this of the streaming platform. So, they're like, listen, you can either, use what we got, or now Restream, who rebroadcasts out our system, actually has a chat component that we could just put on the website and say, hey, listen, if you want to tune into the show, you can, tune in right on our website and you can chat along there, and then we'll we'll pick up all your messages there. But the people that make the toy, vMix, the company that makes the software here, they basically say, hey, listen, you can write an interface for any application that you want to pull messages from. You just write that application, and then you just start supplying it through a data source feed, and then you can do whatever in the hell you want to it. Because we wrote the facility so that you can write your own little app to query whatever messenger systems you want. You know, because they're like, this is not our bread and butter. So I actually, you know, I was thinking, I'm like, okay, well, which ones would we actually care about that the toy doesn't look at right now? And Threads came to mind because you know, we are starting on that one. I don't think I've even put out our first post on it yet, but I did sign up, so PTR Radio is there. And you know, it has a whole like 4 followers, but you know, regardless, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe we'll just reopen up our MySpace page. It might just be easier. You know, if we can find Tom somewhere, get him out of his mom's basement, say, hey, listen, brush off some code. We want to put sparkles on the back of our page, and you know, we want to kick some music off when people load it. If we can just start doing that again, I'll be perfectly happy.
Yeah. If we had people who cared, we probably could set up a Discord, because I do greatly enjoy Discord. That is the best platform that I have for actually talking to people about stuff that I actually want to talk about. But
Colin says nobody cares. Colin says everybody listening, nobody cares about the show. That's what Colin just said. He goes, none of you give a damn. You don't want to talk to us. I mean, I know several of them you can just he can literally just go upstairs and talk to, but you know, there's a couple of them.
Are they going to want to get on Discord and talk about it or not?
So, but yeah, I don't know. That's yeah, that's a thing.
If we had a message, if one of those podcast platforms has a message system in it somewhere, and people were talking about PTR Radio and want somewhere to hang out, let us know. Go out to Facebook.
Yeah.
Say, hey, we want a Discord.
Yep. Colin will set it up. You just heard him say it.
So we'll set up a Patreon to pay for it.
Colin will foot the bill. That's what I'm hearing. And there you go. I don't know. What does Discord cost anyway? I am not on Discord. I'm so out of the loop because I'm not a gamer or anything. Colin, how much does running your own Discord thing do? I mean, you've got the, you know, Midwest Disney fans Discord server. How much does that cost you?
I have no idea how much Discord costs. But I just know it tends to be a perk for being on different Patreons, so it must cost something, especially for it to get all integrated.
Discord is free, but there's a paid plan known as Discord Nitro. That's cool. That's why they just call it Discord
Nitro. Nitro is for users, not for
okay.
People who have their own channel.
Discord hosting cost. Let's see here. It doesn't say anything. Does it cost to host a Discord server? Discord servers are free and can be set up easily by anyone that has a Discord account. If you want to use premium features such as optimized sound quality for all chat members, you can also use the paid Discord Nitro service. So the answer is you just have to be a Discord user to have a Discord room. So Colin's going to set up...
Yeah. It's the whole channel thing. That's why I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. So, anyway, okay, that's enough about X. Unless you guys want to continue to talk about how we hate both of the media platform, you know, people. It used to be people hated like Rupert Murdoch and you know, all the other people that are in charge of the news cabal, but now it's like, oh yeah, the two nerds. We don't like those guys. Let's get rid of those. And hey, let's do Bezos at the same time. Let's send them all three up in a rocket. And we'll just pick one. Maybe the penis one, because that's just fitting.
It's barely a rocket. at least he's like semi-retired. But you know, just let's finish off. I say off with the Facebook thing. It's less how much would I pay to not have advertising. It's how much would I pay to not be their product?
Yeah. That's true. That's true too. You know what? I've got two topics in one. All right. Same conversation, but two topics. So I threw this out there. There's a movie coming out called They Cloned Tyrone that I surveyed Mike and Colin to say, hey, listen, can we review this movie? Not like for this week, but can we put it on in the rotation somewhere? Because there are some movies that we shy away from. They're delicate subjects that we don't feel qualified to talk about, right? I think we did.
Okay.
We did call an audible on one movie that we said nope. We're not. Maybe it was the 8 Billboards or whatever movie, but there was something that we.
No, there was the movies that I remember. There was some corporate lit movie that was all about affirmative action, and we were like, yeah, no. When that came up in the list, we're like, nobody takes credit for putting it on this list. We're just not doing it. And then Trump versus the Illuminati, we were like, yeah, that came up, and we're like, yeah, no, that's absolutely not happening. I seem to remember us talking about there was some political, politically undertone movie, but see, now I'm curious as to why you felt the need to ask this question about this movie, because I don't think this movie hits any kind of topic.
Although, Mike, you did take away his privileges of putting any movie on the list.
Well, technically, he didn't put it on the list. He asked us, can we put it on the list? So it's almost like Mom said no, so I'm going to go ask Dad. That's what he did. He found the loophole.
Well, no. What I was looking for a consensus of is this something that we can talk about, because it is a primarily black cast. All right, it's a primarily African American cast. Let's just put it out there, right?
Yeah.
And it's a comedy-ish. I don't know what you would call this movie. Is it termed a comedy? Is it termed a horror movie? Is it a dystopian future? What is it called? I don't know.
So my take from watching the trailer is this is a sci-fi blaxploitation movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a modern day Shaft with a sci-fi twist because of the cloning type, right?
It's
so for
no
that reason,
Undercover Brother. Let's put it that way.
No, honestly, I think this movie is right in our wheelhouse. Now, we could start watching it and say, oh, yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe there are some themes that aren't on the surface that maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean,
but in the end here, and I'm going to be blunt about this, and I could be wrong. But in the end, I don't think that we should shy away from movies like this. I think we should discuss them. And if there are areas that are open to interpretation, that's where the discussion needs to take place. Because if we decide that we're going to shy away from movies because the cast is predominantly a skin color other than ours, I'll even go that far to further generalize, then we would have never watched, was it Kung Fu Yoga?
Yeah.
Was that it? With Jackie Chan?
Yeah.
Or the one, what was the one, was that the same movie that he was in the car with the tiger? Or was there another Jackie Chan movie that we watched?
Oh, well, we remember Skip Trace. I don't know. I mean, I think it was like half and half. There was a lot of indigenous people in that one. And Jackie Chan sang. So, that was cool.
I just remember Kung Fu Yoga was the one that had the whole big Bollywood number at the end. And I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
I mean, I remember the night when
That's how every movie should end.
I mean, I remember when
Jackie
we all
Chan
gave
dancing.
gave unanimous, shnikes to Medea Goes to Jail, and there was no feedback from that. But
I mean, look, there was no backlash or hatred when we reviewed Anna versus the Apocalypse, which
there was hatred.
A cast of mentally challenged people.
No, there was hatred. You hated that movie. All right, that was the hatred.
Yes, I hated that movie. Yes, I did, because I was tricked. I was tricked into watching a damn musical. It was a musical from across the pond. I was tricked. I was bamboozled. I was led astray. I was run amok.
I still say it's the best zombie teen high school Christmas musical from the UK that I've ever watched. 100%.
How many of them have you seen?
Well, so far there's only been one, but it's like I got my favorite daughter.
I'm sure you needed some of those qualifiers. I don't think any others exist. Hey, so,
for the record, it is National Tequila Day.
Ooh.
So salute.
So I just want to say, in general, I do not understand the whole cloning thing. Like, why does anybody care? Just saying. There are so many clones in the world. Like, every single identical twin is a clone. That you look at that and you go, okay, well, if we already have lots of them running around anyway, why do we?
I think the difference is those that are.
They're not man. No, it's that engineered clone.
Yeah, I think it's engineered versus non-engineered.
I understand. I'm just saying there's this fascination in the idea of if one person could be an exact genetic duplicate of another person, but is that the same person and stuff? I'm like, well, ask a twin. Are they the same person as the other one of their twins?
See, you're getting into the nature versus nurture. So if you took two twins and you separated them and you raised them completely differently, would they be exactly the same at the end?
Well, it doesn't matter. You raise the two of them together, they're still two different people.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, controlled experiments. So you're saying let's go take two sets of twins away from their parents, and
okay. So, but see, here's the problem. Everybody thinks of clones now, and the majority of this generation that this movie is targeting thinks of Jango Fett and Boba Fett. That kind of clone. That's who they think of. All exactly. And even there, the Bad Batch, if anybody who's into Star Wars, the Bad Batch completely destroys that, right? So they're even with clones, there are variants. But it's the fact that these people were being cloned without even knowing about it. Yeah. So to me, this is more like The Island than Attack of the Clones. So
I'm just saying the fascination in general.
I don't understand, so I still don't understand why the world is obsessed with zombies. To me, zombieism is just a branch of Christianity because Jesus was the first zombie. But I mean, too much? Too far?
Well, I don't know. Was Riddick the second one? Is that what it was?
No, zombies are a metaphor. That's why there's a fascination in zombies.
Let me ask you a question, Mike. How long have you been celebrating National Tequila Day today already?
What time is it? It's about 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to check. So.
No, this is... Good, bad, or indifferent. This is sober Mike making the analysis of Jesus was the first zombie. The only other story I have about zombies, real quick, and suddenly I feel like that time. What was his name? The actor from Office Space, not Office Space, the IT Crowd, Chris O'Dowd.
Yeah, he
was on a show in Britain, the Last Leg. It was a talk show, and it was his birthday, and he was drunk. If you could find the clip on YouTube, it's in or Facebook. It's an amazing clip. That's kind of how I feel right now. But regarding zombies, I remember a couple of Prime days ago, I mentioned that I bought a machete because it was on sale, And I told this to my dentist. My dentist said, "Why do you need a machete?" I said, "Well, I got to keep it in the garage right by the door." She said, "Why do you have to keep a machete by the door in the garage? Zombies. I got to have something accessible." Which got us into the debate of, do you believe in zombies? Have you ever seen a zombie? I said, Jesus. She said, no. Have you ever seen a zombie? I said, I've never seen a baby pigeon, but I'm pretty sure they exist.
Well, let's see here. There's a website dedicated to the best and worst weapons to wield in a zombie apocalypse. Crowbar.
Machete is a last resort.
Crowbar. Light. It's light to swing. It fits in your belt loops. It's easy if it needs both. It's easy if you need both hands free for a moment. Skateboard. Skateboards would break pretty quickly when being swung at zombies. However, they'd be effective for pushing a crowd back without risking your own neck. And they never run out of gas like a car would. Okay, screwdriver. I that's too close. That's too close. I don't want to get that close. Machete. There you go.
See?
Hammer. I don't know. Hammer, it really depends on the size of the hammer. Because I bought a 3-pound sledge the other day for driving in fence posts. And boy, that gets really tiring really quickly. You don't realize how much 3 pounds really is when you're, swinging at things. Because you lift it up at the store and you're like, oh, I got this all day long. I'm Thor. But then you start hitting some poles into dirt, and it's like my arm is a limp piece of spaghetti at this point, because I'm not Thor. Flamethrower. It's ridiculously stupid in almost any situation, they say. But in a zombie fight situation, it'd be one of the dumbest things because it runs on fuel and it's a pain to keep loaded. Chainsaw, similar.
Yeah,
Gun.
they don't know anything about flamethrowers. I'll just say that.
But you don't know what? They don't know anything about flamethrowers, or you don't?
Yeah, they said, oh, it's useless in almost any situation. Oh, go tell all the troops during World War II who were trying to clear the islands of the Japanese. And yeah, it's like, no, they were there for a reason.
Chainsaw. It's really easy to make a mess, and they're extremely loud.
Okay. No, chainsaw is the dumbest one yet because it makes noise, attracting more zombies. And once you run out of gas, it's useless.
Yeah.
But there is a weapon from a different video game that is always useful.
What's that?
And
Brass
that
knuckles?
No, a crowbar.
Well, I said crowbar at the beginning of this.
Crowbar was one of the first ones he said.
I know.
Yeah.
That's not the point. The point is to say that there's lots of... In video games, there's always lots of chainsaws. But crowbar is a different video game. I was just correcting myself. I wasn't saying that the crowbar
Here's another bad example. Axe. They said crowbar is much more efficient. You don't get tired out nearly as easily. And a guitar would be the coolest looking weapon, but it's also one of the worst.
I'll use it once. Mike, I'm sorry. I do have to say that there is very, very clear evidence that Jesus is not the world's first zombie.
Who the first?
Lazarus.
Okay. Fair point.
Yep. So now you got two that you can reference at your next dental appointment. So
here's the trick.
You could make the joke that Jesus
before
made the first zombie, but
get the Novocaine first. That's my tip. If you're going to make that argument, make sure she gives you the Novocaine first.
That way you have plausible deniability.
No, this way she doesn't just inject you with saline and be like, oh, does that hurt? I'm sorry. I don't know why you still feel this. I mean, I gave you 10 cc's of lidocaine here, of something. Oh, Wrong one.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry. It was holy water.
Was that a nerve? I'm sorry.
Oh,
Jesus died for your sins. Remember that?
so-
Yes. Gluttony is a sin. You had too much chocolate. Now I'm here. Thank you.
So the reason why I asked, or why I started with the They Clone Tyrone movie is because last Friday, news article came out. Now, we normally don't talk about race relations on this show, but I think that this is a good one. And this isn't in our show sheets. I'll put it up. I'll put a link in there now because I just came across this while I was taking the dog out before the show, and I thought, this is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. So, headline. I'm reading the headline here. Black man who says he was elected mayor of Alabama town alleges that white leaders are keeping him from position. Okay, now, you would think, or one might assume that the story is about, like, some wackadoo who didn't think that, who was like the rent is too damn high guy, right? Who thought that he won the mayoral election, but then he really didn't, but now he's, causing a kerfuffle because that's what people do now when they don't win elections, right? So, but in this case, this guy's like well-respected, like former fire chief. So he was a volunteer firefighter and emergency responder who decided to run for mayor in 2020 because he had concerns that the town council and mayor were not responding to the needs of the majority black community. Now get this. The community that this mayor serves, I think I read this, 75% of the constituency is African American.
85.
85. But yet there is not one person of color on the city council. And up to this point, they have not had elections. They have just appointed mayors over and over and over again. In fact, they gave him bad information on how to register to be a candidate for mayor when he inquired about it. So he did his own research, filed his own notice of intent to run, and was the only person to file a notice of intent to run, and therefore was the only person on the ballot. And so he won the election, according to this article. However, weeks after his election, the existing council members allegedly met in secret to adopt a special election ordinance, which the notice of the meeting was not published, and the group set a special election for October 6th. Since no notice of the election was ever published, according to the lawsuit that he's filing, and because the election wasn't publicized, only Spokes and his council members qualified for that special election, and so they effectively reappointed themselves to their current positions. And since then, they have been going through a series of locking the rightful mayor out of city accounts, P.O. boxes, changing the locks on City Hall. I mean,
Wow.
I'm normally not one to say that something is so, to term a phrase, clearly black and white, all right, as far as a decision goes. But in this case, they got pissed because they lost control of the government that they had, I think it says in here, for like 100 years.
They got outsmarted. They got legally outmaneuvered.
Because they were lazy. They didn't even run. Their current mayor, the guy who had previously held the title, didn't even file an intent to run as mayor. So he didn't even have a choice. He didn't even have a chance to be reelected rightfully. They just said, oh, there's no way we're going to let this happen, and we'll just screw this guy out of the mayorship. So now it's all going to court. I mean,
Yeah.
So,
what state
right
is
off
this?
the bat, Alabama.
Alabama. Imagine that.
So
It's in
right-
Alabama.
Right off the bat, the fact that they held a special election with no public notice of the meeting to have that special election, That's it right off the bat. That's a direct violation of Alabama's Open Meetings Act.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that was decided at that meeting, because there wasn't time for public comment, wasn't public notice about it. Some other states call this the Sunshine Law. That's what New Jersey calls it, right? So that's why I was right there. Oh wow.
Yeah. When confronted with the first duly elected black mayor and majority black town council, because again, none of the council members also registered to be elected, and so legal counsel for the elected mayor said you can choose your own council because that's what has happened in the past when this occurred, and he went to both white and African American people to be on the council to have a true representation of the population. No white members wanted to be on his council. They all declined to be on his council. And all this happened. So when confronted with the first duly elected black mayor and majority black town council, all defendants undertook racially motivated actions to prevent the first black mayor from exercising the duties of this position and the first majority black town council from exercising legislative power, says the lawsuit. I mean, this is
in most states, the equivalent of the attorney general or whatever it's called in that particular state should have immediately stepped in, and the state government should have put a squash on that, because that is probably violating the Alabama Constitution. That's their job, but it's Alabama, so
I mean, this obviously. I mean, I'm not even an Alabama election law scholar, and I'm sure this violates Alabama election laws.
Yes.
So here's the other thing. Like there's a paragraph in here that says Stokes and his council have not held any public meeting. Stokes is the mayor, not the one who was elected.
The one who stole control.
Yeah. And his council have not held any public meetings at town hall since 2020, according to the lawsuit, instead holding meetings at private residences, which is probably also in violation of law.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, I don't want to really talk about it, but this is pretty much this is part of the inspiration behind the song "Try That in a Small Town," because that's exactly, this is like the antithesis.
Yep.
Thank you. Of that song. This should not be happening.
No.
But this is small town politics at its best. This is Boss Hogg all over again.
Oh, absolutely. This is the Dukes of Hazzard. Yes, this is Hazzard. That's all that it is. And I mean, and this is going to end up. This is already national news, obviously, and it's going to. And the fear is that things like this are going to continue.
Yeah, but honestly, this is not national news. This is.
Well, it's CBS
you bring
News.
This up. It's the first I've heard it. This has not been on any news channel that I've watched, and we watch the news every night while we're eating dinner. So this has not gotten national coverage. I haven't heard about it by us. Maybe by you guys on your affiliates, because
I said, I read it on. I think it was on my Yahoo News scroller or something, but it wasn't one of the first headlines. I had to scroll down for a while, and why? This is. We're worried about other crap, but this is the perfect example. So I just don't get, I don't get how people get away with this. That's what kills me.
I don't either.
People who get away with it. And the sad thing is, they're going to probably, because of the way that courts work and appeals and everything else, they're probably going to get away for it for a good long while. I mean, obviously, this all started in 2020. It's 2023, almost 2024 now. So, it's pretty sickening is what it is. So, talking about courts, Mike, I know that you are a hard and fast Jeep man.
I used to be when Jeeps were still Jeeps, but
well, are you going to get a Roxor now that it can be sold in the U.S.? And for those that aren't familiar, this is a Indian firm, Mahindra, who is selling the Roxor in the United States, and were recently sued by Jeep because of potential copyright infringement.
So, for those who are familiar with Jeep Wranglers, which is the traditional type Jeep, they've always had what is known as the 7-slot grill, 7 vertical slots, and that was their grill. Well, the Roxor also had a 7-slot vertical grill. And that's what the lawsuit was about.
Yeah.
Literally.
This is their modification to it after the lawsuit.
Yes. So they changed the grill. It still looks like a Jeep, an old Jeep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I personally would. So it's funny because I actually saw the Roxor at a NASCAR race. Mahindra sponsored a car for a while. I think they still do. And they, in the vendor areas, hospitality, whatever, they had Roxors. And I remember looking at it with my buddy and saying, "That's weird, 7-slot grill." And this was before the lawsuit. I was like, "Wow, I'm surprised they can get away with that." Well, it was a good-looking vehicle. If you had a need for something like that, like on a farm or if you lived in the woods and a trail or what have you, would I go with Mahindra? Probably not, just because I think there are better options out there.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't know that I would, India is not the first country I think of when I think of dependable vehicles. And by the way, here is the before and after, if you're curious. So on the left,
it actually used to be a lot worse.
Yeah. Okay. So on the left is the before, but you can see that the similarity is ridiculous. Even here, and then now it's gone to more of a CJ, style in the front.
They've got horizontal slots now. They spaced out that front end. That literally looks like they surplused old Jeep parts right down to like the hood latches.
Oh yeah. There's no denying that sure looks like a Jeep.
Yeah, so that probably played into it as well.
Right. So the basic design of the Jeep itself, the one that they look like in the past, that's not really that in general does not belong to Jeep. I mean, that design has been used since World War II by many companies, including Toyota, with their original FJ. So the one thing that Jeep does have control of is the 7 slots, which isn't even the original World War II Jeep had 9, I believe. So that's specifically the one thing that the actual Jeep company owns. And yeah, they're careful to control it.
Yeah.
And I can't blame them. I mean, they merchandise the Jeep logo with the 7-slot grill as part of the logo. So that's kind of trademarked now. I get that. But to your point, Shaggy, now that being said, if you came out and told me that Mahindra made the trains that they use in India, I might consider that they're pretty durable because they overload those damn things beyond belief, and they still hold up pretty well.
I might even believe it if they made some of the commercial trucks, because I see people riding, on top of them, hanging onto the side, everything else.
Yeah.
As they go down those dirt roads at 60 miles an hour. So, but yeah, I just I don't know.
I fell out of the bromance with the Jeep. Not so much when I got rid of mine, but when they got bought by the French.
No.
Chrysler is now owned by Fiat.
That was It's Italian, not French.
Same difference.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
Same
they're
difference.
close enough.
I don't like any of them. Yeah, but didn't Fiat buy Renault as well?
I don't know. I mean,
Was
if they
Renault
did, they
still-
would also own French. But I'd say France is actually known for having some pretty interesting vehicles, and Fiat from Italy, not so much.
Oh, actually, no. I'm sorry. It's Stellantis. That's right. That's their new.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 50-50 cross-border merger between the Italian-American conglomerate Fiat Chrysler and the French PSA group. Peugeot, Citroën, Opel. These are all the subsidiaries. Group PSA, Vauxhall Motors. So, yeah, there's French in there. Okay. Gotta go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was not aware of the merger with France. So now you get the worst of everything.
And don't forget, it's incorporated in the Netherlands for tax purposes. So,
And, yeah, they're headquartered in Amsterdam.
no, it says, well, they have a North American headquarters in Auburn Hills, Michigan.
Well, yeah, because Dodge is that's the old Dodge headquarters,
So,
which was Chrysler, but
now, do you know what Jeep stands for, Mike?
just empty every pocket.
Just enough essential parts was the original abbreviation.
Well, that's okay.
So, all right. So we dealt with courts, we dealt with copyrights. Now it's on to Mike. Let's see here.
Why me again?
No, I know you had a topic that I thought I wasn't looking forward to.
No, I didn't. I
thought you
I'm
had
actually looking through.
I thought you had a Hallmark topic in here somewhere.
Oh well,
there is a
yeah,
Hallmark.
yeah. So
I mean, we're in
Shaggy.
Christmas in July, so it's peak
have
Hallmark
you-
season.
have you and Angie booked your cruise yet? For the first ever Hallmark Christmas cruise.
No, absolutely not.
Does she know about it?
No. And if we're a little quieter, she won't find out.
Oh no, she's gonna find out. The question is, do you want to be the hero for booking it before she finds
sorry.
out?
It's sold out, Mike. It's sold out.
See?
The website says sold out right now. Look, I'm not even
Well-
making this up. It's sold out. Oh, damn it.
Well,
Missed it.
Missed
the opportunity. What a
but see,
bitch.
now here's the problem, dude. See,
No.
if you guys wanted an outside cabin on this cruise, I'd be inclined to give you the tickets that I bought instead of auctioning them off, at cost. Kind of, I saw this as an investment opportunity, better than some of the stocks that have been performing.
You're
Better than
probably
my
right.
crypto.
You're
I've
probably
traded
right.
in some of my crypto to buy this. So
I mean, it's gonna do better than Beanie Babies did. That's for damn sure.
Mike, you figured out that Shaggy was going to forget to do something, and you decided to be proactive. On,
I'm not even going to
punishment.
make money off of it from you, Shag.
Yeah, because a aft-facing club balcony suite was only almost $2,000. So
That's not,
Yeah, but I got
that's
points.
not very
So
expensive.
no,
I'm thinking that's what you were talking about.
no. Owner suites are $4,500.
Yeah, okay, there's like one of those in the ship. So.
Oh, it's pretty
Now,
sweet.
Question is, actually, no, I didn't buy the tickets, but my thing is, now I have to find out when exactly it's sold out, because I notified you about it on July 12th.
Well,
So if it's sold out sometime between now and July 12th,
Well, I'm sure.
and you had an opportunity to be the hero.
I have no idea how many housewives watch it. All it took was one commercial to max this thing out, and it was sold out. I guarantee you that. All right.
So what you're saying is this is essentially the bag of crap
Yes.
of cruises.
Of Hallmark. Yes, this is Hallmark's bag of
Okay.
crap. Because when you get
It actually was. It sold out within hours.
Yep.
Wow.
See? Well, because look at these amenities, Mike. Photo ops and panels with your favorite Hallmark stars.
I want to know who the stars are.
Well, I know Candace Cameron Bure ain't going to be on there. So, it won't be her favorite, and neither will college, what's her name? Not Candace Bergen. What the hell's her name? They got her daughter into college but didn't serve any time.
Oh, Aunt Becky.
Yeah, Aunt Becky. Yeah, she won't be on there. No. You'll probably get like, you'll probably get the Sweeting girl,
Well, actually, depending on how long this writer's strike goes on, you could very well get actors just because they ain't got nothing else to do.
Right, exactly. Well,
The
yeah.
actor's on strike too.
Well, yeah, the actors, the writers, and I don't think that appearing at a cruise. Well, I don't know. Would that violate the terms of the strike?
Well,
I know they're not allowed to do any promotion of any project.
Well, that's the problem
But
because
if
they're premiering a Christmas movie on this cruise, Mike.
So if you don't have any stars from that movie on the cruise,
I don't know.
but
could
they've
be.
starred in
Yeah.
other movies, I mean, it's kind of like a gray area. It's open interpretation, maybe, but
There's a bunch of stuff that's not covered by the strike. I know. Let's see, animated movies for television, basically animated movies that aren't going to theaters. That's not covered by the strike. Game shows, reality shows, all of those, are not covered by the strike. So all the celebrities, you still want to make money, can be on Celebrity Jeopardy. They're fine.
or stars on Mars.
Yeah. Yep.
The only person
we wanna
on
talk
that
about
show
this.
with any talent was whoever it was that was running the computerized voice.
You're not going to say William Shatner is a national treasure? He's on it.
You mean
Well,
Shaddy
William
Daddy?
William Shatner showed up like 2 months before they shot the thing, and spent like 2 hours recording everything, and that was it.
Well,
Stop on Mars.
I don't know.
I
haven't
just love
watched
the-
it.
I just love the. I think I already watched the first episode of that, but yeah, it's like now because of the time delay, we can't actually talk to each other. It was like, yeah, that's because you someone went to your house with a green screen 2 months ago and had you read some lines to the
And the new iPhone, because that's all it takes to record things nowadays. So, yeah, no, they're going to have photo ops with favorite Hallmark stars, although they do not tell you who that is. I cannot find it anywhere. World premiere of a Hallmark Channel holiday movie. Light the Night Sail Away ceremony and tree lighting. Tastings with Hallmark Channel wines. Activities with the Hallmark Channel stars. Panels with the Hallmark Channel stars.
Hallmark
Christmas-
Channel wines.
Christmas karaoke.
Oh God. Where are they sailing out of?
They are leaving
Miami.
from Miami and going
It's
to
one
the
of the
Bahamas.
smallest Norwegian ships too. So people paid $200 to get in deposits to get on the wait list to then try to get on the ship, and then people on the wait list were told like days in advance of the day that they were supposed to be able to book, no, it's already sold out.
Wow, that sounds like a Kickstarter pyramid scheme happening.
Right. I think they all got their money back, but still,
Oh, okay.
it's like
So, all right. So better than Kickstarter.
basically they all said you should have got a bigger ship.
Here's somebody that says, here's a list of people I don't want to see on the cruise. Lacey Chabert, Danica McKellar, Ali LeBaire, Marcus Rossner, Aaron
No,
Cahill,
stop,
Ryan Peavy.
stop. How do you not want Lacey Chabert? I would just want to like hang out with her and ask her, what was it like filming Lost in Space with Matt LeBlanc?
Oh, yeah. That would be
Right?
Yeah.
And Danica McKellar, come on, that's Winnie Cooper. And I would never refer to her as Winnie Cooper.
No, you would.
She's just one of the
I would.
coolest. She's,
I would say, hey,
wouldn't,
Winnie.
because she's brilliant.
Well, she was also
I'd
in
full on just want to hang out and do shots with her.
Lacey Chabert was also in Daddy Daycare.
Yes.
She was in real movies, other than
She
just
was in
Hallmark
Mean
movies.
Girls.
Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. She was in a horror called Black Christmas. Another horror
she's
called
been in
Scarecrow.
She's been in a lot of stuff. Yeah. I would. Why would people not want to see her?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these people were like the mean people, though, in these movies, like the jerk boyfriends, who end up getting
yeah.
dumped.
I don't want to see them because they were a villain in my favorite movie, and they were really mean to my favorite character ever, and they kicked the kitten in that movie. So I can't see them in real life now because they suck.
How would you like to? Because those guys play the same characters in every movie. How would you like to be typecast as the Hallmark terrible boyfriend?
Do I get paid?
Yeah, you get paid, but you're not in the movie all that
Because
much.
Yeah, well, I don't care. If I can make a living being the hated boyfriend in Hallmark movies, I would lower myself to that.
Who the hell doesn't want Ryan Peavy in there? Ryan Peavy is.
I would. Are you kidding me, Shaggy? If I had that job, I would drive. You know how like Mary Kay, the cosmetics ladies used to drive around in like the pink Cadillacs or whatever, or the Avon women. Like I would drive around in a Hallmark mobile. If it meant I got paid and got to be the evil boyfriend, and that was how I made my living.
I mean,
in these movies, I would be.
Boy,
I would be the jerk face.
Whoever Stormy is here, boy, they don't know the good people. They don't want somebody who was in Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2 to be on the boat. Aaron Cahill, or Fast Track No Limits.
People just don't know.
Yeah, so I would say you could not drag me onto that ship.
Well, I'd gladly go on that ship if I was drinking.
Well, I don't.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Okay, the reason that I would go on a themed cruise is so that I would be on a cruise ship full of people who like the same things that I do. That I would have something to talk to them about, right? So if you went on like a Star Trek cruise and you were a big Trekkie or Trekker or whatever they're calling themselves nowadays, you would have something to talk about with other people. It would be a ship of your people. And a ship of people who like Hallmark movies enough to go on a Hallmark cruise is definitely not a ship full of my people.
Those are such insufferable people.
But
I mean, I'm married to one. Don't get me wrong.
Here's my theory on that. I agree with you 100%. Like if I'm going on a cruise, a theme cruise, I'm not going to go on like the Kiss cruise because I ain't putting makeup on. I'm not walking around in heels, and I don't really like their music.
No.
However, I would go on a Hallmark cruise, even though I hate Hallmark movies, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I would have amazing stories by the time I got done.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because there's a lot of lonely single women there.
No, because I'm married. No, see?
Just saying.
I would go on this cruise, and I would finally be able to answer the question, do cruise ships have a jail? Because eventually I'm going to piss somebody off where they're going to call security. Because I will walk around with the Mad Lib plot checklist for Hallmark movies.
What if, hold on, I got an idea. What if this is just a cheap way for Hallmark to make another movie?
Or just get ideas for movies by
can,
having the people do Mad Libs.
What if they're going to have
during dinner?
It's not on their board, but they do say they're going to have panels. What if they're going to have a storyboard idea panel where they basically just have, because of the writer's strike, they just have all of their ardent fans give them ideas for the next, 10 years worth of movies.
They very well could. But see, now you're coming up with like a YouTube video skit of if that panel actually happened and what happened. Maybe you should just do a movie that doesn't follow the same plot that every movie does, where the person moved away and got famous, and then they came back to town and because there was a problem and they fight the evil developer.
Sorry, you're not going to get to say that far because you're going to have a crowd of women that are just going to punch you in the face.
Exactly, and I will be able to sue them for assault. And never have to work a day in my life, or I will be cast as the jerk-off boyfriend in every Hallmark movie they're out as part of my settlement.
Because I can just see
There's
that
a
panel.
master plan here, dude.
I can just see that panel. They go, you know what? What if instead of the guy being like a sommelier for a winery and a professional chef, what if he ran like a craft brewery and was a professional
What
chef?
if his job was to taste dog food?
What if the woman he fell in love with was the person who picked up his trash every day and she had a mole
But
on her
what if
face?
she turned out to be a dude?
They'd say you're in the wrong panel. The woke panel is down the hall. Go to that panel.
I didn't say he was dressed as a female. He was just a dude.
That's for the Callmark channel, not for the Hallmark channel.
Oh, Lord.
How much would you not like to go to Christmas karaoke though, and a ugly sweater contest on a cruise ship in the Bahamas? Who wants to wear an ugly sweater in the Bahamas?
Yeah, wait a second. Yeah, what the hell? Who's a sweater? Period, dude.
What month is this?
November.
It's in November, but I don't know that the Bahamas gets a whole lot of snow.
Yeah, because I've been in the Bahamas the previous 2 Decembers. I'll be in the Bahamas this December. I've already booked my cruise for the next December.
Wow, must be nice, Mr. Big I'm a cruise guy.
So I'll just say no. I definitely did not want to be wearing a sweater of any type during any of those cruises.
No.
Oh. So, Mike, no, I didn't buy a ticket. And I'm not going to go on StubHub and get a black market ticket either. So, no.
You're not gonna try and just ship yourself
No, I'm
onto
not
the
going to
boat
try
in
and
a
stow away.
bananas?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so I've been asked by other viewers on why dogs are barking. And the answer is because somebody had the temerity of delivering things to the house.
No.
The what?
Did they deliver food? Is it food?
No, I think it's a new window for our camper. Or upgrading one of the window in the door to have a built-in blind.
Oh. Cruises and the camper's not good enough for you the way that it was delivered. All right, I see how you are. Living the high life. You know. Talking
Yeah,
about
we did lots of upgrading. We also decided that we didn't trust the tires it came with, so we replaced the tires.
so. Speaking of traveling, did you know there are 15 hidden gem travel destinations around America that aren't overly crowded or expensive, Colin? Maybe you guys can hitch up the camper and find your way there. I'll tell you what they are.
Okay.
Please do, because I'm curious.
The Green Mountains of Vermont. You ever been there?
Nope.
I've usually
I'll
been there.
just see what Mike says about that.
I've been there in the wintertime. They're not that green in the wintertime, I can tell you that.
No, from the picture that it's shown, it looks a lot like kind of our property up in Maine. So
yeah,
it's one of those. It's probably one of those places that's great if you want to disconnect.
Yeah. If you want to have no cell service, it's probably a nice place to go. Like Colin just did. There.
He's
there. He is.
Back. He's there. He's back.
He's
okay.
back. All right.
I was taking the opportunity to yell at the dogs to see if they'd stop barking.
Oh, okay. Number 2, the Black Hills of South Dakota.
Yeah. Okay. And luckily it mentions it. I was going to say, just don't plan on going during the motorcycle rally.
No.
Unless you are a motorcycle person.
Yeah. You could visit the largest reptile house while you were there.
That's known as Casa de Nope.
Or the Crazy House Memorial, which has a Volksmarch that allows you to go up into the arms of 2 times per year.
No idea. And Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, well, that's
I'm surprised has
tourist
not.
trap.
I'm surprised it's still standing.
Next up, the Oregon coast. Haven't been to Oregon.
Nope.
Looks like a lot of other coasts. Was that where the Goonies was? Were they off of Oregon?
Yeah, actually, I think so.
Yep.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, Astoria. Yeah, fell in love with Astoria. That's where they were coming from.
That's right.
See,
Okay.
The problem with going to Oregon is you have to be careful that you don't lose your family to dysentery.
That's why you got to hunt a lot along the way.
Yeah.
Carlsbad Caverns National Park in New Mexico, which actually reminds me that I recently got a call, because evidently these are still a thing. I got offered an opportunity to travel to Florida, and all that I had to do to get a free 4-night stay and a luxury, accommodations was to take 2 hours out of my trip to listen to a sales spiel about a timeshare opportunity. Honestly, these are still a thing? People still do this? Really?
Yes,
they haven't closed up? This is a horrible idea. Who's saying yes to this?
Depends on the timeshare, what system they're in. I don't believe too much about this. Considering I own a timeshare,
Yeah, but you own like credits. You don't own like a time. You don't own like a spot.
well, just about all timeshares nowadays are credit based. They're all point based. There's very few left that are trying to sell like specific weeks anymore.
Charleston, St. Augustine's, Sanibel Island, and Puget Sound are good ones. Watkins Glen State Park in New York. Mike, tell us about this. Tell us all about Watkins Glen.
They have a racetrack there that I will apparently never go to because there's only about 2 hotels that are within a reasonable distance, and you have to do a package deal that costs an arm and a leg. However, it is a fun race, and there's wineries.
And there's some waterfalls that evidently look like they're really cool.
Well, here's the thing. When you go on vacation, don't go chasing waterfalls.
No. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. We all know this.
I have waited 14 years to be able to do a joke based off of that, and God, the timing was perfect.
Yes, it was very
North coast of Kauai, yeah, okay, well, it's beautiful, but again, cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah. Somebody says, "Oh, yeah, this is definitely affordable. I took a helicopter tour with a landing in the Grand Canyon." Oh, yeah, that's not going to cost a lot at all, is it? No. The Adirondacks. I've got a few on the deck. They're okay. They're not the comfortablest thing I have out there, but they're all right.
Adirondack in New York?
I don't honestly.
No.
I don't know where the Adirondacks are. I'm gonna be completely honest. My geography stopped. Northeast New York.
Yeah, Northeast. Yeah. Okay, that's Vermont light,
Yeah.
but okay.
Next up, Highway 101 runs from Olympic Peninsula to San Francisco, the scene of many a movie driving scene. Isn't that where Tony Stark is driving with his Audi with the top down and the boards in the back? In Iron Man 2, I think. I don't know. Florida Keys. Okay, depending upon when you go to the Florida Keys, it could be a fun trip or a really fun trip or a not so fun trip, depending upon your mood. Florida Keys can get pretty wild, is my understanding. Zion National Park.
Sharks in the water. Zion,
don't tempt me.
Zion, just listen.
Go ahead.
Zion, just stick to the trails, because you don't want to get stuck in a ditch.
No. And then Portsmouth, New Hampshire, if you're interested in small New England towns. Which sounds interesting. And then so I mean those are some interesting ideas. All right. I don't know. Neither one of you are frozen on my side. So I don't know what's going on.
Okay, you just caught up.
Okay.
Yep. You're sounding a lot like you're doing a Songify thing.
Oh, okay.
To me.
Huh. Weird. All right. So here, hopefully everything's straightened out now.
So
Yeah.
I would before we go to the movie reviews, there was another list that I kind of wanted to go through here.
Sure.
Now I have to find
Yeah.
it.
Oh.
There was one.
Was that
One
the?
like-
I don't really want to do the AI one.
What about the one that I posted on Facebook and got very little feedback on? The things that we are done
Was
with
that-
as we get older?
Yes. That
Yes, that was actually the list I was talking about.
Yeah, so Yahoo Life, in coordination with BuzzFeed, did a list of older adults are revealing the things they're simply getting too old to deal with anymore. And this person says, my millennial self agrees with every single one of them. Now, okay, which generation are we in? Because I constantly get that confused. Are we Gen X? Is that what we are?
Okay.
I think.
I am at the very edge of Gen X, which I think someone actually classified us as actually a sub piece, because most of Gen X are people who don't know how to make their VCRs not flash their the clock at them. So we're at the edge with the. We were young enough to get the technology as we were growing up, so we know how to use a phone.
So
And not
All right.
be the kind of person
Officially,
who talks all the time.
officially, or generally speaking, Gen X was born from 65 to 1980.
well, I think it depends on who you talk about, because I'm running Gen HQ, and it says between 65 and 76. and Gen Y or millennials are 77 through 95. But I don't agree with being a millennial myself, and I certainly think Colin doesn't agree with being a millennial either.
No.
I would definitely put myself into the Gen X category.
Like I said, we're officially Gen X, but we are shoulders.
Yeah. So, now you look at the, like my daughter who's, definitely millennial, Gen Y, whatever you want to call it. It's just different world there. But so here's a list of things that they say they're done with. And we'll just see if we agree with all these, which I think we're probably going to. And I asked people to include additional things that they thought that they were done with or that they are done with, being older. So number 1, arguing with other people. It makes me think of Keanu Reeves. He gave an interview about growing older and said he protects his peace by refusing to argue with anyone about anything. He said 2 + 2 is 5. You're correct. Have a nice day.
I choose my battles.
Yeah, I'm a very much a pick your battles guy because it's just not worth it.
You can tell when somebody says 2 + 2 = 5. So if someone comes up to me and is wearing clothing that is very trendy and non-gender descript and they say math is racist, I am not going to argue with them.
Yeah.
Because you are not going to change their mind no matter what.
No, it's the same as arguing politics. You're not going to change anybody's mind. Somebody who's made the decision.
And there's a very fine line between arguing and discussing.
Yeah.
So
some people don't know how to discuss. Some people just know how to argue. Number 2, concerts without assigned seating. I'm not showing up
Frozen.
hours. What? Now you're frozen. Okay. I don't understand because I got really good times here.
I've seen it be fun.
Yep. Okay. Mike completely froze on me. He said frozen and then he froze. So it was like he gave a command.
Yes,
he gave a command to himself. He's like Harry Potter. He's like, freeze. But yeah. I just told him, okay, there you are. You're back. Welcome back.
It happens when I'm looking at a Yahoo website.
Oh. I don't know.
All right. So
But
anyway,
it was like a voice command.
Yeah, you said frozen, and then you were like, that was awesome. It was really cool. So, yeah, I like that. So, number 2, concerts without assigned seating. I'm not showing up hours early to get a good spot and then be stuck there the entire time without being able to sit or use the bathroom, or else I lose my view. No. There's track seating at the state fair for concerts. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. No, give me a seat that says it's mine, and then I'll maybe go. But otherwise, I probably still won't go.
there's a big venue by us, PNC Art Center, where they have lawn seating. And if you go, you can't bring chairs, but you can bring blankets. So you stake your claim with your blanket. However, it's like the beach. So you could put your blanket down, but some jackass is going to sit right next to you.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
While he's smoking his ganja, his little chiba.
No. I just, even going to concerts, I'm just like, I don't know that I have a need to go to them anymore. I can see a lot. It's like going to sporting events. I don't know that I need to go to those. I have a really nice television.
Here's the difference. A sporting event, you go, it's not something you've seen before. You've seen a game, yes, but every game is different. A concert, I own the album.
Yeah.
So.
I really like concerts, but I definitely am not. I want to know where I'm going to sit.
Yeah. Number 3, hangovers. 3 days to get back to normal is too much now and is not worth it.
Okay, let's just back up a second. Hangovers are never fun.
No, they weren't fun when I was younger.
It's the fact it's the fact that as you get older, it takes longer to recover. So the 3 days is potentially accurate.
Well,
When I was younger, I used to go out drinking after a hockey game. My game would be at 8, be at the bar by 9:30, close the bar at 2:00, and go to work the next morning for 8 a.m. and be fine.
Well, yeah, and when you get older, then suddenly you have to say, okay, well, before I go to bed, I'm going to drink 2 full bottles of water, and I'm going to take an aspirin, and then maybe by the time I wake up, then I'll be ready to take another 2 bottles of water and another aspirin, and then maybe I can continue on with my day. You have to start to learn all these stupid tricks. It's like, no, I don't know. Tricks are for kids.
They have invented supplements for our generation that are supposedly to prevent hangovers.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I prevented hangovers by never having one.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Number 4, I used to go to the bar on weekends, play darts, listen to bands, etc. It was fun. Now it's just crowded, annoying people, loud music, and overpriced beer with a cover charge. I still make an appearance for some food or to watch a game, but it will be more of a happy hour thing. All right. There's still a few. There's like one band or 2 bands where I will say, you know what, let's go. But those bands are not the bands this is talking about. All right. Those bands are like the last band I went to go see was at the Blue Grouch, I think. And I was the youngest person there. All right. This was a cover band who did a lot of like 60s, 70s songs. And yeah, my wife and I were the youngest people there. I went with, ex-host Nate and his wife. And it was cool. We sat back, we ate our prime rib, drank our cocktails, and just listened to basically, oldies. And was surrounded by people who were just, sipping on cocktails all night. That was an okay thing to go to.
I go out of my way to find the bars that are less popular so that I can avoid. The problem around here is that a lot of these places have bands, and the bands around here apparently have no concept of space or size and I feel bad for every single one of these guys' girlfriends in that respect, because they think they need 1,200 watt PA speakers for a bar that only holds 100 people.
Yeah.
Max. Standing room only by fire code. And that is before all of the room that your drum kit, obnoxiously big drum kit and speakers and everything take up. That is not enjoyable.
Speaking of loud place to go, have you had this conversation, whenever you and your wife decide to go out? I don't want to go there. It'll be too loud.
Yeah, actually we have, or we'll look at places and be like, okay, we can go, but we got to go now because the band comes in at 8. We don't want to we want to be out of there before that.
This is how bad it's gotten. Texas Roadhouse, it's takeout only. That place is too goddamn loud. All right.
Really?
It's too metal roof inside of a restaurant that's already blasting music, and everybody's yelling at the top of their lungs. I don't need that crap. All right. No, I'll take it and I'll bring it home. And Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm going to look at the sports schedule first to see and make sure there is no game before I go to Buffalo Wild Wings. Because the people who go there to watch sports are obnoxious.
The worst has to be when there's a UFC fight on.
Ugh. Luckily, I've never been there. But I've been there, unfortunately, during, the Final Four tournament. God.
So
there's too much sports.
This kind of ties into the next one on the list.
Yes.
Anything starting past 9 p.m. I just had this discussion with friends. A friend of ours works with younger people, and they were all going out. And she's the oldest one.
Were they leaving the house at 10?
A little bit younger than I am. They were meeting at 8:30. Meeting up to start the evening at 8:30. She said, that's too late. And I was like, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I go out and play hockey. We don't get on the ice until 10:30. But I am at that point, and I'm ashamed to admit this because I play with guys who are in their 60s and a couple that are in their 70s. And I have to take a nap before I leave for the rink when I'm skating at 10:30.
Yeah. I know.
That's also because I know I'm going to be at the bar until 2.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind staying out late if I started early, but I'm not going to stay up late to then go out. That's not going to happen. Number 6, putting up with BS. Somebody says, I'm 64 and will retire in 8 months and also just filed for a divorce, and hopefully that will be done before retirement.
Listen, no, just skip over this one because this is somebody's life story that everything went wrong. This is a Hallmark movie before the happy twist.
Yeah. Number 7, lack of sleep. All-nighters were once manageable. Now I pull an all-nighter and I'm useless. I'll agree. If I work until 3 or 4 in the morning and then try to only go on like 2 hours of sleep, it sucks. It's not a good next day.
I run into the problem where not only am I low on sleep, I have trouble the next night going to sleep.
Yeah, because you've run the tank empty and then you're still running on fumes, and it's ridiculous. Number 8, caring for people who don't care about me. That comes with age.
Correct.
Number 9, sitting on the floor. Yeah, no, I want a chair. Damn it, I'm not sitting on the floor. Only exception is if there's a kid down there that I need to play with, and then they better be cute, and they better be willing to play with me and not run around.
Well, see, you replace kid with dog, and I'm like, okay, I'm on the floor.
Yeah.
All right.
You give me a good reason to be on the floor, and I'll be on the floor. Number 10, new slang. Mike, when was the last time we got into new slang on the show?
So there's a couple of people that I work with now that are younger, and when we're talking about some stuff, they're like, "Yeah, you know what? That looks a little sus." And I'm like, so I've started saying it to Kim. She's like, "What do you think about this?" I said, "That looks a little sus." And she's like, "What does that even mean? What are you saying?" I said, "I'm trying to make fetch happen, apparently, because I don't know what it means."
I started to use it. I started to use sus with my daughter, and she goes, "Dad, no."
Yeah, I get that. Don't do that.
It's not a real term that we're using. So you're just being the old guy who's
trying to be cool. Who's trying to be a bit extra. That's what you're trying to be. Let's just keep it going.
I believe that comes down to specific terminology in specific video games. So if you're playing Among Us or whatever the heck the name of that thing is, where that terminology's come out of, then you're probably fine.
Number 11.
I just randomly throw fetch into conversations now just to see if anybody gets it. What do you think about that, Mike? Oh, it's so fetch.
I think we should just bring back Smurfing.
Yeah.
I think we should just bring back Smurfing because I have no idea.
Fetch me a Smurf. A Smurf? A Smurf. A Smurf.
Yeah. Waiting in line. I hate lines. Hate lines. Number 12. This heat. I'm going to add another one to this one. This cold. I want it just right.
I am never going to complain about cold.
I definitely don't.
I'm cold right now.
I don't complain about the cold typically. The heat I complain about. It's not good. Number 13, Colin, tell us what your opinion is. Camping on the ground.
I have been camping on the ground. Depending on what your definition is of camping on the ground, I've never camped on the ground. But camping in a tent.
Yeah, tent camping is
recent.
Camping is what they're talking about, and
Yeah.
Number 14, going places without a bathroom nearby. Boy, the older you get, the more important bathroom placement becomes. It's like
camping on the ground.
So, 15, skinny jeans. God, work with people at church that wear skinny jeans, and I'm like, I don't get it. Why are you going skinny jeans and you're rolling the bottoms? It's stupid. 16's work.
Why are you going with skinny jeans in the era of leggings?
These are men. That's why. That's why.
So
I've seen plenty of men.
here's the funny part.
Stupidly.
When you read the caption underneath it, it says, ironically, since skinny jeans are out, wearing skinny jeans is an old guy thing. If you see a guy walking down the street wearing skinny jeans, he's likely closer to 40 than 20.
I have never worn skinny jeans in my life.
I don't
know if
wear
it's such a
skinny
thing.
jeans, but I wear a cut now that's called the athletic fit because it's roomier in the thigh specifically. You know, because I got these freaking hockey legs. So
No, I still
They
wear
fit
carpenter
better.
pants. I'm going to let people make fun of me till the day I die. I'm going to still wear carpenter pants. I don't care. You know? I just got rid of my jorts. So, you know.
oh no. I have a pair of jorts that I wear if I want to embarrass Kim.
Number 17, not being comfortable. So this one, the picture they give is in an airplane. Yeah, I mean, you know, at some point, you do have to value comfort, especially as you get older.
You skipped number 16, which is the most important one.
Work?
Work.
Well, a lot of us don't have a choice, and a lot of us, the longer we go, the more we're actually going to end up having to work. The idea of being able to retire at 60 is slowly fading away from a lot of us, I think.
So here's where I think the view shifts, okay? It used to be when you're younger, you've got that ambition. You want to move up the ladder. You want to have people report to you. You want more responsibility. You want all of that. Then when you get to my age, next week I will have this time next week I will have 25 years with my company. I have had bosses in the last couple of years ask me, where do you want to be in 5 years? I said, right where I'm at.
Yeah.
I do not want to move up. I've been there, done that, had the t-shirt. I don't want to deal with HR stuff. I don't want to deal with personnel decisions. I just want to do my job. And I want to report to people who are younger than me that want that responsibility because I don't want it.
Yeah, I just got done, well, a few weeks ago now because he accepted the job and I can talk about it now. But I just got done interviewing my new future boss and hiring him. He'll start in a couple of weeks. And, yeah, happy about that. Happy about that. I got asked, they're like, well, don't you want the job? You've been, temporary into it for like 6 months now, almost 9 months. I'm like, nope. Thought long and hard about it. Talked to the wife about it. Talked to one of my best confidants at work about it. And when it comes down to it, happy wins. No matter what, money, prestige, all that kind of stuff, doesn't matter. Happy wins. All things being equal, happy wins.
Always.
I'm not gonna kill myself over this. I've got other fish to fry. And the benefit that I have right now is I still have a voice at the table. I don't have to have a seat there. So,
Yes.
that's the benefit for me. But, that's just where I'm at. Now, we did get one submission on the Facebook post, and I wholeheartedly agree with this submission. Mama Blair piped in and said the one thing that she is done with is stairs. Oh, I so agree. We have a tri-level house. I hate that we have a tri-level house. My wife has learned to hate that we have a tri-level house now, and we have been working hard to try and get an addition created so that we can do single-floor living because the stairs have become a point of contention for us. And so, we are just – it's like, okay, do we pay for the house again in an extension? Do we go to the trouble of moving somewhere? what is it going to end up being, and we still haven't really decided one way or the other. But it's neither one of us really wants to pack up all of our crap as part of the problem there. But it's just like stairs. No. Ranches. Stay on a ranch. Get a basement if you want stairs. Mike knows it. People think upstairs are cool. No, upstairs aren't cool. Basements are cool.
If you're talking like, and Kim and I look at it too, like as long as the master bedroom is on the main floor.
Yeah.
The upstairs can be the extra room, guest room, whatever. That's fine.
Let the young people who visit stay there. Or the occasional guest. Yep. All right. I guess it's time to get to our double feature movie review and talk about the movies that we selected for this evening. Now, Mike, remind me, the movies that we were going to watch. One was The Mother, which was a Netflix original. And the other one was what?
Tiptoes, which you didn't watch.
No, I did not have a chance to watch Tiptoes. Which it's the McConaughey movie with Gary Oldman, Patricia Arquette, Kate Beckinsale. So we can hold off on Tiptoes review until next show if you want.
Oh, you need to watch it.
Okay.
I'm going to make that perfectly clear. You need to watch it. So
okay.
We will hold off. And while we're talking about next show, because it is the summer and now Shaggy will have 3 movies to watch, I would like to propose instead that our next show be on August 14th, and that be our only show in August.
I'm fine
Last
with
year
that.
we took August off.
Okay.
So
I'm fine with that. My birthday's the next day, so I'm taking the day off. So I'm okay with that.
Okay. So we will talk about Tiptoes on that show.
Yep.
And we have already picked our other movies for the next show.
That's right. I forgot what they are, but we did. You're right.
Next show is going to be a double line, double feature.
Okay.
Because we got Cocaine Bear and Cocaine Shark.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So
those are the 3 that
three amazing movies will be reviewed.
During
the next show?
Do I need to invest in some cocaine to get through Tiptoes? I guess the question is, which one should I do first? Should I do cocaine first or should I do Tiptoes first?
Do Tiptoes first.
All right.
Yes. Because we also have Crackoon and Meth Gator queued up after those 2.
Yeah, as soon as they become available. So
which by the way, a bit of a spoiler. During one point in The Mother, there's a chase scene, and my wife goes, "Wow, this guy can really run." I said, "Well, it probably has something to do with the cocaine that he just took."
Well,
all right. So we will go ahead and we'll start off with The Mother. And Colin, we will start with you. So tell us what your thoughts are on The Mother.
Okay, Mother, Jennifer Lopez. This is we've seen previous movies like one of Jennifer Gardner and stuff, which were similar. This is not a revenge epic so much as they're going to come after her as a revenge, not her going after them, but she has to go after them to retrieve her daughter. So it's kind of like Peppermint crust with Taken, I guess, sort of. But so that's the crux of the movie. You have Jennifer Lopez, who has to give up her baby to the FBI for reasons that are unspecified. And then she goes and hides out in Alaska. And then the bad guys find the daughter, so she has to come out of hiding to retrieve the daughter. And then some other bad things happen, and she actually has to keep her daughter for an extended period of time and goes through a training sequence of training her, I think, 12-year-old how to shoot guns, kill deer, and do the Grizzly Adams thing. Um, the thing about this movie is it starts off in a house, and then it switches to Alaska, and the Alaska segments were kind of interesting. I'm not sure why Jennifer Lopez is in Alaska, but I like Alaska, so that was fun. But then there's an extended sequence in Cuba, and it felt like a different movie during that entire Cuba sequence, and I didn't like it as much, and so I found that part of it annoying because I was kind of enjoying the Alaska sequences. And so you get a second set of Alaska sequences then, which is going back to me was a more interesting movie. Overall, I actually really liked this movie. I think Jennifer Lopez was actually doing a really good job. I think the child actress was doing a very good job. The majority of the other adults in the movie were okay. I think the worst actor in the entire movie was the woman playing the FBI agent in the first segment. I think that was terrible. I didn't understand that because it set off the movie in a bad place, having such a bad acting there. But I don't know. This movie is going to get. I don't know. I'm going to give it a smile. I feel like I liked it better than that, but I can't give it like a step above that. So I'm just leave it a smile.
Okay, smile from Colin. All right. I'll go next, and then Mike, you can pick up the pieces. How about that? All right. So, this was a movie I watched last night with my wife, and because we were out of baking shows to watch, so she decided she wanted to hate herself and watch one of the movies that we needed to watch. And I thought, and I think I was proven pretty much right. I'm like, okay, this is kind of like Gunpowder Milkshake-ish type thing. The element of like some other movies in there. Can't remember the names of, but this was a I thought it was a pretty decent movie. Now, around the 40-minute mark, which is just about the time that the initial first fight scene is done, all right, when you find out that when potential baby daddy number 1 is dispatched, my wife goes, "Is this movie about over?" And I hit the little pause button, and I'm like, "Nope, we're 40 minutes into it. We got about an hour left." And she goes, "No way. This movie is taking forever." Because she is just not, this is not her cup of tea to begin with. And so she just could not believe how, in her words, how slowly the movie went. And I explained to her that time is the same. It doesn't change. I'm like, the progression of it, it's just your interpretation of time. I didn't mind the movie at all because we've watched similar movies, and I thought that it was actually pretty good. So, I'm going to say, there was a lot of action on this. There was a lot of, good sequences. There was some emotional heartstrings being pulled. I think all the actors did pretty well. Were you talking about the guy who ended up getting saved from the FBI, Colin, or were you talking about the jerk one in the beginning of the movie that you didn't like? Which one was that? Because it was
the female FBI agent who made her give up the kid.
Okay, that one. Yep, she was a d-bag. There's no question about that. But she was only in it for a very short period of time. I thought you were talking about one of the ones in the house, and I'm like, oh no, I like that guy.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, the guys in the house were fine.
So anyway, I thought it was pretty good. I'm going to give it a smile from my perspective because, like I said, it was a somewhat enjoyable movie and one that I would naturally watch again. All right, Mike, it's all you.
Okay, so the initial premise of this movie, I thought, was J-Lo meets John Wick. That was enough to make me say, I need to watch this. Whether we're going to review it or not, I'm watching this. And, yo, this mofo. So this guy goes and stabs a baby bump. That's cold, man.
Yeah.
And I also want to know, she made this bomb in the bathroom. What brand of candle burns that quick? That 6 inches in 5 minutes? Because I want to make sure I don't buy that kind of candle ever, especially for a zombie apocalypse. I'll need better candles. So all right, when I read the description initially, she knew she had the daughter, but she gave her up. So now the synopsis makes sense. And Edie Falco played that D-bag agent that we're talking about from the FBI, and she was not seen again for the rest of the movie, if I'm recalling correctly. So she was like the Nev Campbell from Scream equivalent. No, not Nev Campbell. Drew Barrymore equivalent. Like, they said she was in this movie, but she's in it for like 5 minutes, if that. All right. This has got to be one of the dumbest gangster dudes, cartel guys in existence. He's trying to find J-Lo in the parking garage. So what does he do? He sets off a car alarm. So now you can't hear a gosh damn thing in this. How does that make it easier to find her? Explain that to me. The extraction sequence, pretty straightforward, anticlimactic, but then J-Lo leaves again. So what's going on here? Where's this going? Now we get to talk about why I'm anti-Jeep. See, side collision on this Jeep at full speed, and only the steering wheel airbag deploys. They do not make Jeeps like they used to. Thanks a lot, Stellantis. Stupid French. Now, all right, so listen. Future Nikes, this was a lot more like Peppermint than John Wick, with maybe a dash of gunpowder milkshake. And wait a second. Is Netflix turning into an action version of Hallmark?
Well, didn't they have
all of these movies are essentially the same plot with different actresses in different cities? What's going on here? I'm going to give this a smirk. Enjoyable, but very Hallmark predictable.
Well, don't forget, Netflix has a chief action officer now.
A chief action officer?
Oh, yeah. Did you not see this press release? It was all over the place. There's YouTube videos about it. But yes, looking to tout its upcoming action movie and TV slate, Netflix clearly decided to go big. And who bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger, who just happens to be the star in one of their new shows. He is now the company's appointed chief action officer. So yes, he is doing all kinds of cheesy commercials for Netflix now. So in fact, I saw one where he was giving bad catch lines over to Chris Hemsworth for the next Extraction movie.
By the way, so just real quick, if you guys have either of you watched the second Extraction movie? Well, did you watch the first one?
I didn't watch the first one.
Not.
No.
Okay. If you watch the first one and you haven't watched the second one yet, the second one, do yourself a favor. Do not drink a lot of coffee or anything, because it's the first 40 minutes. I had to look at my watch and like, this is the longest freaking action sequence ever. What the hell is going on here?
Does it rival the car collision in Blues Brothers?
I don't know. It was as long as the cars flipping at the end of Talladega Nights, where they went to a commercial break and the cars are still flipping. I mean, it was.
Yes. Oh, okie dokie. So we've got our movies racked up for next show. So it's a cocaine double feature. it's you can call it an 8-ball, ready to go. So Cocaine Bear and Cocaine Shark. Cocaine Bear available on Peacock. Cocaine Shark available on Tubi. TUBI. So both of those available for you if you have if you just basically, I think both of those are at the point where they're free now, so not a big deal. But yeah, so and we're doing one show next month and one show only on August 14th. So
Yes.
Let me see here. Did anybody think about what they learned during this show?
Oh shit. I can help you guys out. Y'all learn that I'm going to hell because I still think Jesus was the first zombie, even if Lazarus may have taken that title. But I think by even implying that the Bible somehow, talks about zombies, rising from the dead, that's the very definition of a zombie, risen from the dead. So
No.
Yes, it is, and you're not going to change my mind.
No.
All right, Colin, what did you learn today?
I learned that Mike doesn't know what a zombie is.
Well, I learned that Mike still has 2 tickets up for sale on StubHub for the Hallmark cruise, as long as you're willing to go with an aft side balcony cabin. So if you're interested, you can contact him on Threads at Mike the Ape Man. All right, folks. That is what we learned for this evening. Want to thank everybody for tuning in and, hopefully laughing along with us and maybe even learning a little something. So we will be back, as we said, August 14th. I will have 3 movies to watch. These 2 will have 2 movies to watch. We'll talk about them then. And we'll talk about everything else that happens between now and then on the show. Maybe people will freeze. Maybe people won't. Who knows? You'll only know if you tune into the show. So don't forget, PTRradio.com is our website, as well as you can find at PTR Radio on your favorite social media networks. Twitter or X or whatever, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, all the good stuff out there. So, and now on Threads. So, again, August 14th will be our next show, and we hope that everybody will tune in and, play along with the silliness. So, with that said, folks, I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I'm Mike the Ape Man.
Stick and fork in this, folks. We are done later.